Hi everyone, it's Sam here. Now, there are probably two things that you're very aware of right now. Number one, I haven't made a video in about 4 months, which is something I fully intend to explain. And number two, this isn't my usual surroundings, I've not moved again, but I am in the Britannia Hotel in Nottingham at the moment for a convention called Gemucon, which ties in quite nicely to the reason why I haven't made a video in the last 4 months. Now, for years and years, I've been saying I would love to make a comic, I would love to go on artist alleys at conventions, I kept dreaming of doing something and never actually acting on it. So, I've finally now turned around and said, you know what, screw that, let's actually put my head down, let's do it. And yeah, that meant neglecting YouTube, which, when I think about long term what I want to do, YouTube isn't a viable option. YouTube is I do that for fun, and that will always be an I do that for fun. What I have been doing over the past few months is completing this. That right there is my first comic, a book called Arcadia. It is 18 pages, it is black and white. It's, well, started going on sale yesterday at Gemucon's Artist Alley, and it will start being available for purchase online within the next week or so. With this one, it was a lot of fun to draw it, and there are a lot of elements that I think gamers in particular would enjoy. It was great for sort of a training wheel purpose. But we've got several of these, lots of them, and they are actively being sold, with today being the first time that they've been sort of available to the public. For those living in the Wiltshire area, you will be able to pick these up soon from Comics in Melksham, Excelsior in Bristol, and potentially the Incredible Comic Shop in Swindon, pending further talks with them. So, the other thing we're doing while we're here, we've got sort of some art prints, things like that, and I'm also taking on-the-day commissions. I've got an example of one of them right here, actually. This is Spawn, which someone came to the table and requested yesterday as an on-the-day commission. I'm like, hey, you here tomorrow, because I'm going to need you to come back tomorrow. With the amount we're talking about, and because it's Spawn, we're just looking at basic colour, no sort of shading. So, yeah, we're taking on the day stuff. We also have art prints, and I'm enjoying myself. It's good. I'm glad I'm finally doing this, and I intend to continue doing it. The next convention I've got booked in, we're currently April the 7th today, and I'm going to London MCM Expo, which is the gotta get my dates right now, the 24th to the 27th of May. I've also completely redesigned my website, sjwebster.net. That has all of my convention dates on. I've started work now on the second comic that I want to do, a book called Superheroes Limited, which I will tell you guys more about when it's appropriate. The big thing that you're probably wondering is that right at the start of this I said, you know, YouTube isn't a viable option for what I want to do outside of my day job. It's also not anything that many people ever make a career out of, which is, you know, fair enough. That doesn't mean I'm quitting YouTube by any means. YouTube is simply being relegated to I will make a video and say something when I have something to say. So the Afro Blue channel will stay exactly as it is. The updates, the videos will probably be periodic and sporadic. It will be hit and miss, it will be here, there and everywhere, and I apologise that there's not going to be any regularity, and I apologise that there's not going to be any form of routine. With regards to the Afro Blue art channel, that is being made redundant and being replaced by a channel called SJ Webster Art, quite simply. SJ Webster Art, A, sounds more professional than Afro Blue, B, when I say to someone, oh yes, my YouTube can be found over here, I don't have to be like, oh no, that's a 0 and that's a 3. You know, people can actually find it. Also, SJ Webster Art is the name of the Facebook page and the name of the Twitter, and my website is sjwebster.net, so that ties in quite nicely. There's also a couple of pieces about Google search results and how Google spiders will put you higher up the search results if your website name is linked to, you know, Twitters and Facebooks, things like that, with either the same or very similar names, because then they're like, okay, this is a bit more legitimate because they're also on social networks, they're here, they're everywhere. So that just makes more sense. It is essentially rebranding. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, I'm not going to dress it up any other way, simply because Afro Blue, and it's fine for dicking around about video games, but it's not fine for the art, which I'm taking far more seriously. So by all means, this will probably mean that the subscriber count drops, and fair enough. You know, if you don't want something that's going to be frankly unreliable, then go ahead. If you're saying no, fair enough, he's chasing his dream, he's, you know, he's still going to do videos, it just might be few and far between, and I can deal with that, then hey, you're welcome to stay. Pull up a chair, thank you very much. In the meantime, SJ Webster Art will probably see more videos than this channel right here will. I would suggest that if you do, you know, like myself and my personality, and if you do also like my artwork and or just respect the fact I'm actually going for it, then, you know, by all means please, you know, subscribe to it, follow me there. If my art isn't something that interests you, then fine. You know, no hard feelings. One other thing that I was going to say, and now I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what it was, so we don't have to do a jump cut, and I can do this in one nice long little whoop, and done. And it was the very last piece as well. Nope, if it comes to me I will put it in the description as sort of a PS, so yeah. It's come to me. At the moment, I'll be perfectly frank in saying that between the art prints, printing the actual comic, getting, you know, some bleed-proof pad and some proper markers, booking the hotels, the trains, the artist alley tables, I've currently spent about £1,000, and that's mostly credit card and overdraft debt. If I sell out of everything that I have right now, I will have £450 back, which any mathematician can tell you that's a £550 loss that I would be running at. So this first run, if it goes well, will fund a second print run. And naturally working on other comics is playing the long game, because a lot of the costs I've had have been things like tablecloths, display stands, basically promotional items to place on the Artist Alley table itself, and those are one-time costs, so eventually the comic itself is profitable. You know, my print costs compared to what I sell it at, I make money on that. The commissions, they are profitable. I'm probably paying myself about £1.20 an hour, which is way below the minimum wage, but they are profitable. Again, the markers and everything for that are going to last me a damn long time. So again, that's not a concern, that's fine. It's just, as I say, getting off the ground with it, that's taking a little longer, but you know what's happening with the channels now, you know what's happening with Afro Blue, which is really no change, and you know what's happening with Afro Blue Art, which is the channel will still be there, but the updates will be going on SJ Webster Art instead. The link will be down there. That about wraps it up. I'm gonna go get some breakfast, and I will see you all later. Thank you.